Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What is up? What is up? What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your man once again, Jelani JB Bodie, and this is the Wait a Minute Show back in the building to give you a sports fix. So let's get straight to it. I need y'all to like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, all that good stuff, because I want to know what y'all thinking. I want to know what y'all thoughts are about what we're going to talk about today. And I say we, it is none other than me, and Big Mo is in the building. What up, Big Mo?
What's up,
I got
JB?
him.
It's the first
I'm
time I
good.
saw you dancing to that theme music, though, man. I
What are
seen
you
you over
talking
there.
about?
You didn't know you was about to come on camera that quick. I seen you over
Yeah,
there.
okay, you caught me. You caught me. I'm about to say, yeah,
Listen,
always dance to it.
long as
But
you ain't doing boots on the ground with the fan. It's not for the fellas, man. We can't have you doing that. Ladies only.
yeah, ladies only. All right.
Yeah, man.
Mo, let's just jump right into it, man. Real quick. We weren't expecting to do this, but as news drop, we got to keep up to date on everything.
Uh-huh.
But recently, in the past, hour or two before we came on, is that Baltimore Ravens, now former kicker of the Baltimore Ravens, Justin Tucker, has been cut by his team. So I will say this, I'm not surprised. I will say that what I think has happened is a combination of things. And one thing with an NFL team that they will move on from you regardless of who you are. They moved on from Tom Brady. Okay. So what I'm going to say is I think it was a combination of his age. He's 35, but this last season that he had, he only converted 73% of his kicks, which is his worst of his career. And he was not really good from 50 yards and beyond because that was his claim to fame. And then he got this little thing, which is not little, off the field. So I just think a combination of all those things, and the Ravens were just like, you know what? If we can get someone to do what he did last year and we still made it to the playoffs, we still had, the success, then I don't want to be here, if he got the yips, if you will, because other than the quarterback position, kicker is the most the position where you can fall apart, and it's the most sensitive position. That's what I was trying to say. So we don't know. We've seen kickers, they get these kicks, they make these kicks, and then they fall off a cliff and they can't hit the side of a barn. So I think this is where the Baltimore Ravens are, is just like, we want to get away from this sooner than later. Mo, what you think?
Oh, man, I'm going to tell you like this. Listen. Justin Tucker, you need a home. We have a slot for you in San Francisco. All right?
Wow. That fast.
Your baggage. We'll take all of that to get rid of Jake Moody. And listen, what?
Do you really want that?
Do I really want what? A kicker that can actually kick and has been proven to be a good, at some point in his career, proven to be able to kick the football through the uprights? At least we know he can do it. Jake Moody, come on, man.
I'm going to say it now. And I am defending my guy Jake Moody a little bit because he is a Wolverine. But
I didn't know that.
I think Tucker is done, bro. I that's not something I enjoy saying or happy to say. But once we saw this past season, he was missing kicks, and it was just like, this is not the normal characteristic of Justin Tucker. Something is bothering him, and something is in his head, whatever it may be. It may be off the field, it may be just missing kicks. But once when that happens, but hey, it's all right.
No,
all right.
I get it. I get it because
he get on there, and then you'll be on here week 5, blowing the lid.
But at least I know we tried something. I get it. I understand the frustrations of a kicker not performing the way you expect them to, right? We've been dealing with Jake Moody. Jake Moody done cost us playoff games, right? Probably a Super Bowl, right? He played his role. He played his role. Justin Tucker, what?
Could possibly cost you one.
But has he ever cost the Raven a Super Bowl playoff game?
Not a Super Bowl, not a playoff, I don't think.
Oh, you ain't got to say nothing
But
else.
but and you can't argue with me on this. Brock Purdy and Lamar Jackson is not the same though. So he got a little he got a little bit extra backing, with Lamar. That's all I'm saying.
Brock Purdy put him in several positions to be able to help us win a game, and he let us down almost
Okay.
every. It's almost listen. You ain't. We're gonna get off this real quick, but you ain't never
Yeah.
in your life seen a stadium hold their breath when the kicker is getting ready to kick a field goal or extra point. It got to the point to where every single time he got up there to kick the ball, the whole stadium just went silent and held their breath because they didn't know what was about to happen. That's how bad he is. We would take Justin Tucker. We'll take Justin Tucker, Chris Tucker, whoever. Anybody but Jake Moody. Anybody but
Mel
Jake Moody.
Tucker.
Mel Tucker.
Oh man. All right. We got a little NBA. Obviously, the playoffs is popping right now. And we're getting into the second round. First round is wrapped up now. And we had a really good game previously on Sunday, which was the Pacers and the Cavs, which Pacers pulled that thing out on the road against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I'm just wondering, could the Cleveland Cavaliers really be in trouble, Mo? Because Pacers look good, man. And Pacers finished the season like you want an NBA team to finish the regular season going into the playoffs. I think they went 34-13, so I think they had the fourth best record uh out of all teams in the NBA. Now I know people will say, well, here we go again with the injuries. Dame, got hurt. Now Garland was out. Now Mobley and DeAndre Hunter might be out as well for game 2. But I mean, that's just what happens when you play in the game. Injuries are part of the game. But they were going top notch. Now, I do believe that with Cleveland being off, maybe they had a little bit of rust, and that thing could turn around and they'll get back in the game. But I think Indiana got just as good of a shot as Cleveland to finish out this series. Now, I'm not saying they're gonna sweep them. I'm not saying it's gonna be basketball, football, baseball, Pacers in 5 or nothing like that. No craziness. So, but they did look good for one game, but it is one game. So congrats to the Pacers. That's what you want to do. You want to win, on the road. We got some other matchups that's coming up with the Timberwolves and the Nuggets and the Rockets. I mean, not Rockets, the Warriors. I apologize for that. And the Thunder as well. So those are going to be really good matchups. And then right now, in probably a few minutes, hours, or whatever you want to say, Knicks versus Celtics. That's going to be a crazy situation. I'm going to be talking about that and more, but other than that, let's jump back into football and finish this thing out with As the World Turns, I guess, the soap opera that are the Cleveland Browns. So, Cleveland Browns, we talked about Shadur going late and everything, and we talked about, this quarterback room. So, we have a quarterback situation. What on earth do we see happening in Cleveland? So, Mo, I'll bring you in here, and you can tell me, your thoughts or whatever. And as you're, talking about it, let's take a look at the quarterback situation of what they have. So you see here, they got a few guys. Flacco, he's here for 1 year. You got Kenny Pickett, which they did not pick up his 5th-year option, so he's got 1 year left on his deal. So he'll be there for this season, for the 25 season. We know Deshaun Watson, significant time, which pretty much is going to be the whole season. So I think we can take him out of the mix. He's just on the books, as far as them owing. And then we got the 2 rookies in Dylan Gabriel and Shadur Sanders. So I look at this as a four-man race, right? And I'll let you go first, Mo. You tell me, I guess maybe you can pick a starter. If you think somebody, ain't gonna make it, whatever.
I'm gonna give you my initial thoughts, but then I got a question. I got a question that I don't think is being asked enough, or maybe I'm just not getting all the information. But my initial thoughts is this: I think it boils down to it's a race between Joe Flacco and Shador. If Shador really gets a chance to get out there and prove himself. And
Right.
if the owner really truly had everything to do with them go ahead and decide to draft him in the 5th round, he's going to get a chance. The owner handpicked him. You're not going to just not see what he can do. And I'm going to trust that when he does get a chance, that he'll prove that, okay, I deserve to at least get a fair shot. And it'll come down to Joe Flacco and Shador. And I think by week 7, week 8, you'll start seeing the fans come down on Joe Flacco like, listen, man, what are y'all going to do? Cleveland, we got Shador. Give this boy a chance. Let him play. Let him play. And once the fans start going crazy, the next thing you see is what? The locker room go crazy. And right now, we've seen people come out in that locker room in support of Shador, right? I don't think Dylan Gabriel, I don't think he's not better than Shador. Let me just say that. Kenny Pickett with them little old bitty hands, come on, man. That ain't happening. But my question is, what do we really know about Deshaun Watson's timeline as far as him being able to get back on the football field? I hadn't heard a lot about it. Now,
So-
I know how serious the injury is, but I hadn't heard a lot. He's expected to miss significant time. But
I will tell you. So
Okay.
I want you to go. I want you to go split screen because I want to make sure I see your face
Okay.
when I say this.
Okay.
So Deshaun Watson, I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. They said significant time. He re-injured it. Through rehab. He's not playing, bro.
Through rehab.
He's not. And
Okay.
he's not playing
I
at all. This
should have
season.
known that. I didn't know he re-injured it through rehab.
Yeah, but
So-
I'm saying he's not. I think they are really ready to move off of him anyway. At this point,
Yeah.
with the quarterback room that you got. So here's what I'm gonna say. You said between Joe and Shador, right?
Right.
Far as like for a starting quarterback.
Right. I mean, Joe Flacco is going to start the season. We know that. To me, that's a given. He's going to start the season. I don't think nobody else on that roster has a shot of starting the season other than Joe Flacco. And if you say Kenny Pickett, I'm logging out. Joe Flacco is starting the season. Joe Flacco
Go
is
ahead and hit
starting
Control
the
Alt
season.
Delete.
And Shador Sanders, I believe he'll
Yeah.
get a shot mid-season at some point.
Go ahead and hit Control Alt Delete.
I know I'm gonna stay because I want to hear your argument for Kenny Pickett. I want to hear the only person on the planet that's going to make an argument for Kenny Pickett. Go ahead.
So you really about to log off then because I say Kenny, Dylan, and Shador stays, and Joe gonna get cut. That's and Kenny's gonna start. And here's what I'm looking at is that they made the trade. They made the trade. So at some point, when you make that trade and you knew the draft was coming up, you didn't make that trade. Again, they took Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd, and they took Shador in the 5th. And they say 3rd through 7 or whatever, those are your backup quarterbacks. And it's quarterbacks that have been drafted there and became starters. So I'm not saying that they're just backup quarterbacks. What I'm saying is, Joe, how they operate. You made a trade for a guy that was a starting quarterback in this league, a first-round pick. He's going to get every opportunity to fail because he was the first plan. And then the other players, transpire. Joe Flacco, don't get me wrong. Joe Flacco is more of when he's hot, he's hot. When he's not, he is not. We've seen that in Indianapolis. So I don't think that they believe that Joe can reclaim or re-get that way he had in Cleveland for those few games that he played. Because remember, Joe didn't play the entire season when he was balling out. When they gave him an opportunity, that was just a little bit different scenario. So I think they're gonna roll with the young guys, see what they got. Of course, they would want Joe Flacco to really be the backup in case anything happens to Kenny. But at this point, they don't have anything to lose with a 3rd and 5th round pick because if the wheels are falling off, it doesn't matter who's out there, for it. But I do believe they're going to give Kenny Pickett every opportunity to win the starting job. I just hope that all the guys, not just, Kenny Pickett, but I hope Shador and Dylan get their fair share in preseason so we really get
There's no such thing.
Full estimation of what they can do.
There's no such thing as them being able to get their fair share of touch. Dude, they shortened up the preseason already. right?
You're right.
You got 4 quarterbacks on your roster right now, right? Okay, we
Joe
taking
doesn't have to play.
we taking Deshaun out the equation, and I get it. Joe does not have to play, but dude, if what you saying sounds good, but
Okay.
understand that it's the most Cleveland Brown thing to do. It's the Cleveland
Yes.
Browns. Listen, we
Now
sitting here
you're
talking about
understanding me. There you go.
Joe Flacco as like he's just listen. Now Joe Flacco went to a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl, beat my San Francisco 49ers, did what he did.
Yes.
So
Yes.
by that, from on the strength of that alone, right? You're gonna tell me you're not gonna take him over 2 quarterbacks you just drafted. 1 in the 3rd and 1 in the 5th. Not a first round draft pick, not a top 10 draft pick, a 3rd round and a 5th round. And then you got a quarterback that, let's just be honest, the boy, Kenny Pickett can't play, man. He can't play. I'm sorry. You saw him, I saw him. He can't play. Right? So Joe Flacco is your best option to start the season. And I say that because you just did something, the NFL did something that we've never seen in the history of the NFL. A prospect who was projected to be top 5 by all experts, by all analysts, and we watched him fall to the 5th round. Okay? And now here we are, before the season starts, debating on what are they going to do with these 5 quarterbacks. What are they going to do with these 2 draft picks, this veteran quarterback and this kid that can't play, and another quarterback that loves massages, right? That's not available to play, but you're paying him more money than half the quarterbacks in the league, right? This is so Cleveland Browns, and it's kind of hard to even make sense of it all. But if I had to make sense of it, dude, listen, at the end of the day, Cleveland,
that's your
pump your brakes. Pump your brakes. Go with the veteran quarterback. Let this young quarterback that you gotta know that he's better than Dylan Gabriel. Let him sit under him for as long as he possibly can. And when everything starts to come down on you, put that kid out there, because no pressure is on him. All the pressure is on the Cleveland Browns to get this right. You can't experiment right now. You've been doing it for 40 years. I mean, you know how many starting quarterbacks they had since 2020? Guess.
You're proving my case. Everything you just said, but the key word that you said is the most Cleveland Brownish thing to do. So
I just don't.
Yeah, it is. I'm just telling you.
I gotta believe at some point they'll make a move that actually makes sense. And just keep the pressure off them, because a lot of people are gonna lose their jobs if this don't work out, man. You know that.
All the time.
You know that. They've been through 11 quarterbacks in 5 years. Starting. And that's just the starters. We're not talking about the quarterbacks that were on their roster. I'm not gonna get into the list. I got it in front of me. I had it, but I'm not gonna get into it. But it's
gonna be a show. Let's just put it
as that. A show.
I will definitely be watching Cleveland Brown preseason games.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Everybody gonna be watching. Everybody gonna be watching. They might be the most viewed team to watch this year.
Yeah,
I mean, because everybody curious to see what they're gonna do.
They need to. Well, maybe they haven't selected yet. They might have already, but whatever. Hard Knocks need to go to Cleveland. If you already got somebody selected, be like, too bad, so sad.
Change your plans. Yeah, we got to go down there and see what's up, because I want to be. Yeah, I'm curious to see what that locker room look like.
Exactly.
Because listen, we know, and I get off this. We know that Shador gonna get his love from the players that's always supported him since Jackson State. I want to know how they treating Dylan Gabriel. He got to come in and be a workhorse.
And Dylan Gabriel should get a fair shot.
They drafted him. I mean, I agree. I'm not disagreeing, but you don't draft 2 quarterbacks and not expect controversy. You just don't. You don't.
Hey,
2 backup quarterbacks.
Kirk Cousins.
I mean, listen, who drafted him?
Washington.
All right. Ain't been the best of organizations over the past few years up until recently.
Well, it's different. So, it's different now. Different now.
Yeah, it's different now. I support them. Shout out to my Pops team, man.
They got Showtime and involved and a new owner. So yeah.
One last question before I let you have it.
All right.
Does Shador Sanders start at any point during this season? Does he get at least 1 start this season?
Yeah, I think he does.
Okay. When? Let's do it. Let's do a wager.
week. I'll say week 8.
Okay, we can't do a wager because that's the same week I had. I'm gonna go week 9 just to make it interesting. I swear to you, I was gonna say week 8. I think about mid-season when it all falls
Yeah.
apart, you gotta play him because hey,
Week 8.
yeah, it is.
Yeah. Hey, but it'll be interesting. So, hey, also interesting, man, is this show. So make sure you're sharing it and talking about it, commenting and all that stuff, as always. But we gotta go. I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man. Who knows who will be, at quarterback camp for the Cleveland Browns? They may bring Willie Beeman back or somebody, but you never know. But until then, I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man. 2 things as always: stay positive and push forward. Peace.